back to our non-toxic podcast. I'm Bree.
And I'm Hannah.
And I feel like I've been gone for
I know, we're reunited
like a whole
finally,
year.
After our what is it, our estrangement.
That's what it felt like.
It wasn't an estrangement though, because you were just busy. You like just things kept happening. And not just you, but like we just had stuff go on.
And it was so hard because I was like, I kept telling Hannah, you were probably like, Bree, stop. I was like, I can't wait to hug you. Like a weirdo in my text.
But
I'm like, I just want to hug you.
Which is rare because I'm usually the one that's like, I miss you. I
know.
love you.
And I'm like, don't touch me.
But you're just like not an affectionate person and not in a cold way, but just in like, you're not a touchy-feely person.
No, I'm not.
I am. Like, especially in the mornings, like when my coffee hits and the sun hits me just right, I'm always like, I have to tell everyone I love them.
I like right now.
I'm like overwhelmed.
The sun is shining.
Yeah, the tank is clean. I just need to like breathe, just so you know, you're the most majestic, beautiful angelfish I've ever seen in my life.
What's funny is like I really am not like my love language is not physical touch. Sorry, Alex, my husband. He knows. He knows.
Moment of silence.
But like my kids, I don't. He's like, I don't understand. Like why?
Yeah,
you love them like that, and I'm like,
like they came from me. It's different.
Yeah,
I get it. Well, we had the last time we recorded together, I think, was before the podcast party, just like a month ago.
Wait, you're right.
Yeah, because we've had. It's been this would be the fourth week. So basically, we had 2 weeks where one of them, your kids were sick. How are they doing better?
First off, I just want to tell you, because I feel like I haven't got to tell you in person, thank you for holding down the fort for me.
Oh, of course.
And just everyone, thank you, because I have been having to text Hannah in like very last minute and be like, my schedule in life is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I know you know that, but it's hard because then it feels like I'm not keeping my end of a
the
project.
thing is, we are doing this as a hobby, like as a fun little project. It's not like we're being graded. It's not anything besides just us wanting to have a creative outlet. And I have a lot more freedom right now than you do because I'm in a slower season and you're very much not. So.
You're always so, like, you are one of the only people that I can be like, I am so sorry. I can't. My whole house is like plagued with whatever happens to be going around at the moment. I
Ear
cannot
infections.
Come. Yeah. And you're
all
like,
the baby
girl,
diseases.
don't worry about it. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm not like, oh, she's mad. I'm like, no, she genuinely means, Brie, don't worry about it.
Well, that's the thing. This is not going to be a fun outlet and it's not going to show through our recording if it's a stressor. And I never want it to become that. So if it's not going to be something that your heart can be in that week for whatever reason, even if it's just like, I can't do it, that's fine. And that's, I mean, the last thing I want is for you to show up here and be like, let's get this over with. Like, come on, because you're so bogged down. And then your life isn't going to be.
You and I was like, I want to come and love it. And right now I'm too stressed out. And you were like, don't
get
even.
it. Yeah, totally get it.
So all that to say, disclaimer for everyone. I kind of told Hannah too. I'm like, my life's a little bit nuts. Like my husband's job changed, which has been a huge blessing.
Congrats,
but also,
Alex.
I know, go Alex.
Woo.
Also, just makes things a little bit different. We're switching around daycare schedules. So you might see less of me.
But it's all love. This is not like a call her daddy situation. We're not breaking up.
No.
We love each other so much. And she loves you guys. And it's just
life, baby.
Yeah. I mean, you got 2 little babies, just like I said, thriving business on your and Alex's parts. And that's an amazing blessing. And I would hope that no one would hold that against you if you don't have time to sit down.
I know. Well, I texted Hannah and it was like one of those things where I'm like, I think I voice memoed you because I'm like, this deserves something better.
Which I get it. I mean, and I hope that I have that with all of my friends and my people, that it's never like a fear of like, I have to tell Hannah, like, oh no.
Oh my gosh, I would never. I was like, I love you so much. I hope you know this is not about you. This is all to do with me. And I want to love the podcast. And I do love the podcast.
But it's hard. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that as much as it might seem silly that we just like sit down and record, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. And I mean, even as silly as it is to block out like 4 hours of an afternoon to come and record because we do back-to-back episodes, then sometimes you just don't have that. And also like your phones are turned off. You're not accessible for 4 hours. Like it's just sometimes not feasible. So.
Well, and also like this has turned into our time that we get together. So I also was like, well, if this is cut short, we have to find.
Oh, we will.
Another time. You guys would think we just get to hang all the time because
unfortunately
we're 11 houses away.
No.
But someday.
Au contraire. Basically, we used to do coffee dates, and then you moved to my neighborhood, and then we're like, oh, we'll make it a podcast, and we stopped doing that because we podcasted. Yeah. So now we can just do ugly coffee dates again.
I can't wait.
I do miss that about recording at the house. Like, I love the studio, and I love having videos and everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I miss having...
our ugly coffee date.
Yeah, I just roll over and sweats and, you know.
It'll be, you know what though? I can feel that coming back to us.
It's going to be amazing, especially in the cold, desolate winter months.
I can't wait.
Well, before we jump into everything you've been up to for the past month, I do just want to address the outpouring of love that I got from last week's episode. I know that was a very emotional, heavy listen for everyone who tuned into that. And I don't want to get emotional anymore. I was just talking to Brie before this about how complicated grief can be and how sometimes it just feels like the well of tears and emotions has kind of gone dry. And while ache is not gone and the wound is very much still there. It's almost like scabbed over a little bit to where I don't feel like I'm just like bare for everyone to see. And that was a really nerve-wracking, scary thing for me to record and put out. But I feel like God was with me as you know, arbitrary as that might sound. Before I recorded, I was alone in here and I just prayed and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to even get through this. I haven't stopped crying for several days because I recorded it several days before I released it. And I was still even more emotional then. And it's almost like Jesus just took the mic, like,
Absolutely.
and completely
Brought
like
you a
spoke
peace.
through me. Like
Yeah.
I could get everything out. I haven't listened to it because I feel like that's just, it's too raw and too emotional right now. But I was proud of it whenever I finished it. I just didn't know if I was going to release it at that point. And when the week rolled around, it just kind of, I felt like I had so much of a cathartic experience recording it and getting all of that out of my heart and kind of just out into the world. Then I didn't want to sit on it and just keep it to myself. And it's not fair to people who I'm like kind of pulling back from or needing to take some time for myself if I'm not offering them some kind of an explanation as to why. And then I mentioned this whenever I recorded, but if I hadn't heard from so many women that had experienced or were experiencing the same thing, I think it would have taken me a lot longer to stop blaming myself or stop being so hard on myself.
Yeah.
And if I am going to accept help from those women for being so selfless and sharing their stories, and it would be, I think, hypocritical to keep mine to myself, knowing that it could help even one person. And I still am like so humbled by the response. I heard from almost 100 women on the first day that it came out. Like, and I want to say I counted 21 women who have had a miscarriage of their own or have known someone that has. Like, the number of personal experiences was just astounding. And as heartbreaking as it is, there was a lot of camaraderie and healing that just came from hearing the response. So thank you everyone for listening and being there for me. Thank you very much.
I know I voice memoed you 80 times to say how proud I was of you, but also I'm going to keep it together. But I listened and then just like bawled in my car because I'm just really proud of you and I know how hard it is. And all to say, like, we are not the grief police. So I'm good with, we'll chat about whatever you want. And I can't personally relate, but I can relate to grief a lot. And sometimes we just need to try and move on and talk about other things. But if you feel up to it and want to talk about it again, like, that's what we're here to do. So
thank you. Well, you've been an amazing friend and support system the entire time. And Bree was so kind and thoughtful. Bree and Hannah from Urban Grounds brought me a coffee, and sometimes it's all you can do, and a delicious cinnamon roll, by the way. But there's nothing you can do or say, and just showing up means so much. And I mean, it's so complicated, and I don't want to harp on this because I think that there's enough, honestly, that we could do a whole episode on handling grief. And like,
another day. We should.
Another day. There's just so much that I've learned, and even as simple as like what to say and what not to say. And then now I'm kicking myself looking back and being like, oh my gosh, how many times have I stuck my foot in my mouth to someone else because I just didn't know. But that's like, there's so much that I want to do it justice in its own episode. But I do want to say that we're not talking about that or anything related to pregnancy or pregnancy loss or anything today. We're trying to talk about Christmas things and make it happy. And it's not to say that that is a chapter of my life that's closed, because it's definitely not, but you have to look for the good where you can find it. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm just being callous to my own situation, but at the same time, we have to heal and cope how we can. And I would hope that everyone understands that, but I just wanted to put it out there.
And I think you're allowed to talk about something totally unrelated and enjoy it. So
thank you.
But I totally get that.
Very much. But I do have all the love and so much gratitude for everyone who spoke to me and just took the time to think. Like, I have my screenshots folder is jam-packed because I wanted to save all of those things just for, you know, just sense of community, I guess, and the kindness of others. And I have preached and praised my community of women so much, and I feel like it just grew tenfold over the past couple weeks, and I'm just so thankful for that. So,
well, it's amazing. And I feel like I'm like, I won't keep harping on it and then I like circle it back.
Harp away.
I just feel like when you're going through something, you get so stuck in knowing, like, should I act like everything's fine or should I openly talk about everything I'm going through?
It's so hard.
Or am I going to get judged because people are like, why is she on here talking about what she's going through? And so to navigate that and just to be, for lack of a better term, just brave enough to do that is freaking amazing.
Thank you. It didn't feel brave. It didn't feel like I was,
I thought it was
charging into battle. It felt vulnerable for sure. But
that is bravery. Do you know how hard it is nowadays to be vulnerable to people?
I mean, I feel like it's not something I would put myself at a podium for because it doesn't feel like that. It felt like it was healing to me. I had selfish intentions at the same time as I had hopefully pure intentions to help someone. I just wanted to almost get to talk about it myself.
Yeah.
But it feels like I was nervous that people would think I was trying to commodify my own grief in a way and be like, look at what happened to me. Because
No, that's what I mean. That's tough because you start worrying that people,
like, it's not I honestly have struggled with the attention more than I feel like relished in it, because it's
because
not.
at the end of the day, it wasn't about other people, right? And that's the hard part. It's like, I didn't put this out. I mean, it was in the sense of connection, but it's like, this wasn't out so that people would be like, look, exactly.
Yeah. And it wasn't sympathy that I was after. And it's been so nice to know that I have the sympathy of other people. But at the same time, I wanted to sympathize versus receive it.
Yeah.
So it's difficult because I don't know how to really handle that, because I've never been in a situation where I'm publicly, dealing with something that's so personal.
Yeah.
But you can never complain about having too much love and support. So it's just a step-by-step process. And I'm happy that we are one day into healing and finding all the happy things about life.
One day at a time.
Speaking of all of that, where have you been
Oh my God.
for the past 4 weeks?
Gosh.
Let's backtrack.
Yeah. Let's rewind. Okay. So
Your birthday.
we did my birthday
Uh-huh.
and I can't remember if I talked about my little dinner.
Yes, you talked about your dinner.
Okay. Best. Amazing. Oh my gosh. 417
So fun.
Devour. Oh,
Shout out to Ashley.
Ashley, I still dream about you and
We
your food.
love you.
There are days I sit down at my table. I'm like, what if Ashley was here tonight?
I know. The first thing that's going to happen if I ever become a billionaire is I'm going to buy her. Like, her whole business. I want her living with me.
Yes.
I want her cooking
I'll
for
build
me
her a
every meal.
house
Yeah.
if I become a billionaire. Anyways.
Yeah.
Guys, it's that good.
Amazing.
Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I think there are days that I like daydream about that meal. Amazing. I truly had the best time with such a little tight knit group. It was such a blessing to have that with my girls. And then my hubby and I went on a trip.
It looked amazing.
It was so fun. So we went to Salt Lake City, Utah, and then we went to Provo to watch Oklahoma play BYU. Oh my gosh, sorry, blanking.
Go Sooners.
Yeah, all we care about is the Sooners.
Yep.
They won.
Speaking of which, can I borrow something K-State? Because I'm going to a K-State basketball game in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh,
I'm going to forget if I don't ask you right this second.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll stick a pin in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come right on over.
Thank you.
I would love that. You can't wait.
You have to teach me. Is it this? Is that what we do?
Yeah. So WC for Wildcat.
Oh, cool.
Is it on here?
What do we say? We say
Emaw.
Okay.
Every man a
I
Wildcat.
got to know these things.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Anyways, back to you.
Who are they playing? Wait.
They are playing Wichita State. So, fun fact, the coach, or I don't remember if he's the coach or the assistant coach. I think he's the assistant coach.
Oh, you told me this.
It's Austin's AAU. He played for this team called MoCan, which is in the EYBL, which is the Elite Youth Basketball League. See, I know all these things.
Oh my! I'm impressed. Honestly.
That was a struggle. If you could see the gears turning, maybe a little smoke escaped my ears on that one, but I do know it. So he played for this coach named Rodney Perry, and it was like not only coach but a mentor to Austin, and now he's at
amazing.
K-State.
Amazing.
And then Wichita State, one of Austin's groomsmen, is one of their player development specialists.
So obviously we're going in K-State.
Obviously, yeah, we're going
apparel.
K-State. Sorry to Ian, but we will be supporting both of our.
Oh, I can't wait.
Both of our friends there. So, but I have no purple to wear.
I was about to say I do have like an alumni sweatshirt that says K-State, but I have a ton of purple.
Whatever you think,
Okay.
I'll let you. Yeah, I'll be your proxy.
This is gonna be good.
I know. I can't wait.
Where was I? Oh,
Sooners game.
anywho, Sooners. Yeah, it was.
Was
great.
it freezing cold?
It was chilly, but not miserably cold.
Okay.
Like I did okay, and then the reason it was a little bit like is because it kept sprinkling a little bit.
Ooh, yeah.
But it wasn't cold enough to snow. Like I almost wish it was snowing.
Oh.
But it was beautiful. The mountains, everything. Alex kept teasing me because obviously, like yourself, I'm a caffeine addict.
I have to have it.
And Mormons don't drink caffeine. That is a
Unfortunately.
Mormon town. I'm not sending any hate, but he kept telling me they were gonna like take my coffees,
You just
and like
couldn't
for a
thrive
split
in that
second, I kept
environment.
thinking like
They are.
they were. And so I was like chugging my Starbucks on the way to the game. He's like, Brie, I'm literally kidding. They're not gonna take.
I
it.
saw
was
your
like,
story, and for some reason I didn't catch that reference. I was thinking it was some kind of like a clear bag policy. You couldn't like bring a beverage in.
Nope.
Okay, it went over my head. So
Good. So then I don't feel kind of as bad about. Anyhow,
I think it funny though.
It was great. We went to. I keep wanting to say Winter Park, and it's not. I don't know
Park
why
City,
I do
right?
that. Yes.
Okay.
It's Park City. Gorgeous.
I want to go so bad.
Like if we could have skied, which we just didn't have enough time. We literally are on our trip and we're skiing, and we're like, next time we're gonna go to the game first.
Yes.
And then like go to the game, maybe get in Friday and like go to dinner, go to the game Saturday, and then stay a little bit into the week because it will die down, and then we can ski.
That would be it. I've never skied before. I don't think I want to ski because I would break something, but I would love to be along for the vibes.
Kind of same.
Yeah.
My husband grew up skiing. I did not. I first tried snowboarding. Huge mistake, you guys. Like literally, I wish you could be a fly on the wall to see it. It was so bad. I will never try that again. I skied one time and did way better. I bet you'd be better than you think. We could stay on the bunny slopes.
The hard part for me is that I feel like I get a misleading reputation because I am like, I'm fit, but I am not athletic at all. At all.
I feel like skiing is one of those things. I don't know. Actually, I haven't gone enough.
I mean, I tried to water ski back in the day at the lake.
That's hard.
Couldn't get up. I don't know what my deal is. I couldn't figure it out. It was a learning curve. I haven't been to the lake in a while, so I haven't tried like wake surfing or anything. Everyone's like, it's easy. You just have to balance. And I'm like, I don't have that. So
Okay, but I would consider myself, my athleticism is a little bit different because it's like gymnast athleticism.
which is
So
crazy.
you'd think that I would be like amazing at that stuff, and it's still just not that easy. Also, we're
Yeah.
both married to husbands that like
just pick
they're
things
good
up.
at everything, and
Yeah.
it's so annoying.
Infuriating.
Like he's like, "Well, just come play with me," and I'm like, "No, because I can't." He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You'll pick it up."
Well, it's hard because I think there's a difference between fitness, athletic, which you're both. So you can do all of the, the tumbling and the flips and the stunts and all of that. So you're definitely athletic as well as fit because you have to be in shape to pull those things off. But then I feel like there's sports athletic,
Yeah.
where you can throw and catch and pick things up, but you're not necessarily fit. So I could make a whole Venn diagram of all those things.
Yeah, we could and like show like where they intercede.
Some people are all of it.
That's my
but-
husband, and it's very annoying to be with someone.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I love it. I'm like, go, daddy.
Yeah, good for the
But, like,
kids, their jeans.
I'm
but-
like, I can't just pick
Right.
up a pickleball paddle and be great.
right.
Like I'll play
I
for
don't know.
funsies.
I thought you did a fantastic job.
That's for, but you saw everyone
Yeah.
else. They're like, Brie, and I'm like, oh, I'm just having fun.
Okay, that's why I can't play because I would be that, but like less charming than you.
We would do great together.
We would just be
We'd miss
dead
the
last.
ball every
We
time.
look really cute though.
Yeah, I was gonna say our outfits would
Fire
be on
Instagram
point.
posts, but nobody would want to play with us.
100%.
So, and that's okay. I know my
100%.
place. I'm a personality addition, and that's why I don't even try. If I'm gonna go bowling or go like mini golfing with a group, I'm like, you don't want me to play because it's not in the cute way of like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Like it's not. It's just irritating.
So I used to be, and I think this has to do with like perfectionism issues, and I'm not proud of this. Like I wouldn't even attempt things because
still
I
do
wanted to be great at it. And
Yeah.
now I've gotten, I don't know if it's like old age, and I'm just like, meh,
yeah.
I'll be bad and just own it.
It depends on the thing because if it's a hobby thing, then I'm sometimes like it doesn't really matter. But also I don't know if it's like chicken or the egg because sometimes I'm just not interested in something that I know I won't have an immediate
That's
affinity
fair.
for.
That's fair.
I'm like I'm not gonna pick it up because I will be bad. But
And
if
like, nor do I even want to do it.
right, it's not worth the time that it will take.
Yeah.
But all that to say, let's plan a skiing trip.
Anywho,
At
yeah,
some point.
back to skiing. It's the whole like mountains, the cute outfits, the scarves. I live for that.
Oh yeah,
Like I
Pinterest board.
truly live for that. So it was beautiful.
I
We
also
had-
love to see all your content whenever you're so like.
I know.
I know you're in love. Like I know that in my soul, but then whenever I get to see you like make content about it, because since you're not so overtly romantic,
Yeah.
Alex is more so online. He'll be like, "Oh my gosh, my
Oh, he
queen,
will.
the woman
He's
who
been
hung
that
the
way
stars."
our
Like
whole relationship.
if I were Picasso, I would only paint you. Like
Yeah.
that's Alex, and then Brie
Yeah.
is just like, "Baby daddy."
Yeah, like love you.
But I love that. And then so whenever I get to see your content where you're more
I
just like
know.
marry your best friend, I'm like, oh, she's
Wait,
so in
which
love.
I will say, I had someone that was like, "You and Alex look like you're doing well," and it hit me, and I was like, you know what, like. I really do love my husband. This
Yeah.
sounds so cheesy,
No, it
but
doesn't.
because I'm not as like mushy gushy as Alex, and he definitely is. He's like physical
But I love
touch,
that,
wants
yeah.
to hug on me, like spill his guts out on Instagram, and I'm like, love you.
And I'm gonna double tap it every time.
Yeah, I know, but like I have an incredible marriage, and I will say that comes with a lot of hard work.
Yes.
And sometimes I wonder if it's because of my parents' situation that I work so hard at it, but
Not wanting to repeat that for your kids.
yeah,
I
I
get
just like we really love hanging out together.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Honestly, like as silly as it sounds, just being able to like be in your husband's company is
crazy.
Is a gift that we don't appreciate enough.
Yeah.
Because so many are like, ugh,
Yeah.
gag me. He's gonna be home tonight. I'm
I
like,
know. And don't get me wrong, I love being alone. Like he
Yeah.
teases me for that too. He's like, I bet you're so excited to be all alone. And I'm like, I am.
You're like, no, that couldn't be
No,
me.
I wish you were here.
Yeah. You're like lighting candles and like pushing him out the door. Like, anyways,
"See
bye.
ya."
See you in a week.
But for the most part, like we cherish those trips together.
Yeah.
I always like, it's so good for your relationship. It's so healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very excited. Like he teases me because I'm always like, I can't wait. Anytime I'm alone somewhere, he's like, I can't wait to come home and see the kids. He's like, and me, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's
course
what I
you-
said that. Just
But
gaslight
I
him.
do. I do.
into being like,
I love my marriage. He's super special to me.
sorry.
All
Computer
the
almost
things.
fell
No,
asleep.
I feel like you're doing flawless.
Well,
But
I thought that was an amazing trip. I love living through you. And we went to Utah. I think I've talked about this before on our engagement honeymoon, which wasn't a thing until I told Austin that it was a thing like 3
wait, I'm
years
obsessed
ago.
with this. You just told him like, hey, when people get engaged, they need to
Yeah.
go
I
on
was
a
like,
pre honeymoon.
Yeah, I'm like, you take a honeymoon when you're married, you take a baby moon before you have a baby, you take an engagement honeymoon after you get engaged. And he was like,
I believe
sounds,
it. He's
sounds
like,
right.
anything for a trip. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So then we booked a trip to Utah and we went and it was so fun. And we were
Wait, where did
so
you
close.
go?
We were in Provo and what's the other city?
Salt Lake City?
Yes.
Okay.
The big one. We were in both of those and we spent like 3 days in each and we almost went to Park City, but it was an hour drive. And I was like, there's so much to see here. Do we want to drive an hour away? And we went to like the Great Salt Lake, which is stunning. Like
I wanted to go to that.
not the
so
Salt
bad.
Flats. So it's like
okay.
very similar. And as far as like you can see all along the horizon, it's so stunning and like it doesn't
I
even
do
seem like
want
it's
to
on
go
this
to the
world.
flats, so
When we go back, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But it was one of the most fun trips we've had. And it was our longest trip as a couple up to that point because we had done weekend trips, but never one that was that long.
that is long.
So now we have like a special place and also just a clean
Is
city.
it not? That's what I was about to say.
So nice there.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so clean. Mm-hmm. Like I can't even explain how clean it is. Like
Yeah.
even the trash cans are clean.
Yeah, it's just like a pristine city. And we were like, maybe Springfield is the worst, actually.
I did tell
kidding.
Alex we're there, and I'm like, I could live here. He's like, you literally say that every single place.
I
we
know.
go.
I'm like, it's just different. Is it different? Is it just not Springfield or is it really that great?
And you can like be anyone you want when you travel.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I post so much content.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I
different.
don't care. Like,
Yeah, you can take
yeah.
photos because someone's going to judge you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm obnoxious kind of all the time, so that would be not true if I said it, but I do post a lot
I know,
of
but
traveling.
I love that about you.
Okay, so catch me up after that. You had Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we came back. Had
It was good.
Thanksgiving. It was great. It was pretty low key. And then since then, my whole house has been plagued with sickness.
Yeah, unfortunate. Very, very sad for you.
So we're still recovering. I'm gonna tell you what, like, it's a lot with sick kids.
It's everywhere right now because I have primarily female clients and I've had so many cancellations or reschedules just because their kids are sick or
Yep,
someone has to go
same.
get picked up from school or daycare. And
Like I don't even
get
want to
it.
get into all the trenches of it, but
Yeah.
I'm my hope is last year my kids were literally sick on Christmas, like running fevers, RSV, the whole thing. So I'm like, you know what? This year we're just getting it
Out of
over
the way
with.
early. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be great. We're
Yeah.
gonna be able to enjoy Christmas, all the things.
Yeah.
So
You know, in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
It's going to be great. Anything since then? How's everything been going? How was, the past 2 weeks?
good.
Even in the house
Busy.
and take your kids, I suppose.
I have. Like
so.
I was literally in the house all last week, which I've realized a huge trigger for me is getting out of routine. And I don't know if that's
yeah.
a type 3 thing or what, but like when my routine gets thrown and I'm like, okay, actually I'm staying home and then I'm pushing this client, and then which I know you do all the time so flawlessly, but I realize I mentally am like, I'm gonna lose my mind. My
It
routine's
is hard.
messed up.
And I struggled more with it whenever I was busier. So I used to have everything so like meticulously planned out to even where like
Yeah.
I'm on the southwest side of the city
yeah.
for this time. And then if someone needs to cancel, then it throws everything off. And then if I had a gap, then it would really just mess everything up. But also I was in a stage where I was so busy and like so over congested in my schedule that if something moved, it was almost a bigger burden to move it because
Yeah.
then I have to fit it in again. And I
Yeah.
already found a place for it. So now I'm in a better place where I have fewer clients, but they're my kind of bigger clients and I can give them a lot more time. But now if someone needs to reschedule something from like today to next week, I have a lot more availability to move into next week versus before it was like Jenga, but
Yeah.
my income is at stake. So it was not as much fun. And I would spiral over that and get so mad and need to
Yes.
vent every time, even though I'm like, this happens constantly. Like it's just
I know.
the nature of working with
I
people.
know. And I'm like, isn't this why I chose the job I did?
Yep.
Was for the flexibility of like my kids get sick, I get
Yeah.
to stay home with them. And yeah, I'm like, I'm behind on emails.
Oh,
like
yeah.
and sometimes I have to like humble myself and be like, Brie, you're not that important. Your business isn't gonna fall apart
I
because
do
you've
that
been
to myself
home
all the time
with your kids.
I'm like, I don't work in the ER.
Yeah,
Okay. I
but
work in social
everything's
media.
fine. Yeah.
It's going to be okay. If I don't get this reel posted today, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I, of course, try not to make a pattern of being behind on things,
Right.
but I am not that important. My job is not that important. There's nothing that I do that
Yeah.
people are going to be like, where is she at?
Yeah.
So that there's a lot of blessing in that.
I know. It's that imposter syndrome of like,
Yeah.
I'm dropping the ball. And when it's like, I'm not, I'm doing the most important thing ever. I'm taking care of my sick kid.
I did see a TikTok that reminded me of you where it was like girls when they're sick versus guys when they're sick. And it's usually the TikToks that are making fun of the guys, which this one was, but it had the added make fun of like girls when they're sick. And then she's like cleaning her whole house, like have to be productive because I have a free day off work. So I have to do something.
Yeah.
And I was like
laundry.
"Ooh, that's me. Like if I'm sick and if I'm not bedridden, like I'm actually,
I know.
very, very ill, I'm up doing stuff. I'm like, this is the perfect time to clean out my closet or to
reorganize everything in my
like, no,
vanity.
honey, you're sick. Like, just lay there. Lay there and recover.
Why do we do that?
I don't
Alex
know.
says it all the time. He's like, can you just chill?
No.
And I'm like, that's not a luxury I've
Thanks for
learned.
asking. No.
Yeah. Don't know how to do that.
Maybe we can take a lesson from men. It's one of the 5 lessons we can learn from men.
I'm trying.
I know. We'll do an episode. The only 5 lessons you can learn from men.
It's like a 5-minute episode. We're like, and that's it.
Yeah, it's 7.5 minutes once we chat the whole time. That's it. Yeah, I mean, there's some things to be learned. One is to relax when you're sick, but also maybe they could just take a note from us and
get stuff done.
Power through it. Put your freaking head down and proceed.
It's like not even like a trait to be proud of either.
No, it's like, oh, I put my own well-being aside for the sake of arbitrary tasks that don't matter at all.
Yeah, and it's like, wow.
Good for us. I know. Well, we can get into that in therapy. And by we, I mean you. And then you can relate it to me.
I know. I got to get back on that therapy train.
It'll be good. Your hat's really cute, by the way. Where'd you get it?
This is from a company called, I think it's Sendero Provisions.
I think I've seen them on my Instagram.
It's all over Instagram.
Yeah.
I almost just said Insta. We'll add the gram. It's all over the gram, Instagram. Speaking of me shortening things, I saw a TikTok about a mom that was talking to her 2 daughters. And I'm like, this is me in 10 years. And she was talking about slang. And this is how I feel with you. She's like, oh, are we not saying slay anymore? And her kids were like, oh, mom, stop. Slay.
I saw that one.
No.
And they were like, you still use the laughing emoji?
Yeah. Yes. And what is the thing, the acronym that they talked about? Like, girl, you've got a nice.
Oh, what is it?
Okay, you're making me feel better.
No, I know what it is. I'm blanking.
Well, we'll forgive you because you never
about
blank.
Like, it's about like your. Usually it's like ass.
Yes.
But I cannot think of it.
Didn't want to tell her.
It's on like the tip of my tongue.
And then I was getting made fun of over the weekend because I kept saying, yeah, period. And I was like, I got to stop saying that. And so then the mom at the end's like, period, can I say that? And they're like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is moving too quick.
I think it's just like we get less cool like the older that we get. So then no matter what we say, we could be saying the same things and it's like.
And there's so much new like slang, just slang.
You have to be on the internet perpetually to keep up with all of it. And everything is so nuanced where it's like, this is a joke, but we say it in this context. Like period, I feel like people used to say it as like period. And then it got to be almost ironic to where you'd be like, oh my gosh, I have the flu. And everyone's like, period.
Yeah.
You know? But how are you supposed to keep up with that? How are you supposed to explain it?
Well, yeah, we're like, someone says something, and I'm like, period.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, stop saying that, Brie. But it like just word vomits out. And then like by the time I catch on to the newest thing, it's done.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of just say whatever. And I think that I have enough of like a sarcastic personality that hopefully it lands sometimes.
No, I feel like you do really good.
But you just got to say a lot of weird stuff and then people stop thinking about it.
That's like my brother, I have a brother that's 18, my youngest brother. And like, he'd be like, hey, can you throw me my coat? Or like, can you grab me a water? And I'd give it to him. He'd be like, preesh. Or like, preesha for appreciate you. Appreciate.
I like that. Yeah.
And so now
I wouldn't sound cool saying it.
Alex will be like, hand me something like preesh. And he's like,
he's like, no.
He's like, stop. And I'm like, I don't even like, it's more mortifying because I don't even realize it comes out of my mouth because I've been hanging out with my 18-year-old brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pick up things like that all the time. And I always wonder what things I like impart on other people because I know I say a lot of weird things. But since I watch so much like YouTube and online content, I'm like, I know I pick things up that are really annoying, but I don't know what they are.
No, I feel like you're right on brand. You're right.
I try and corral myself.
Hip enough.
Thank you.
I'm 100% my like.
Thank you.
I hit 30 and it's like I'm acting 30.
But 30 is cool. I don't know. I feel like at this point I'm being like gaslit into feeling like I'm not cool because most of my friends are 29 to like 33. So now I'm like, am I just like the younger sister that no one wants to hang out with? I want to like catch up.
We all like want to have you so that we can stay cool.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna have to go home and I'm gonna go home and read Urban Dictionary so that I can keep my street cred.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, I keep touching my hair, but I don't know what to do with my bangs. This is what happened. So
I was about to say, I feel like you have to address this.
Yeah. Obviously, I had an emotional few weeks, and there was a Monday I was getting ready, and I was going to this event at Elwood Studios, and it was like a fun little like socializing photo event, and I was like, you know what would be cool if I had bangs? And I went to go like cut them, and I got to the point I didn't watch a single tutorial. I literally had my hair pulled back like this, and I was like,
have you ever?
I was like, I'll just go ahead and cut them. Never had bangs before, and I was using like dull scissors, like I use whenever I'm cutting like tags off of things, and they were down here, but I cut them so blunt because I didn't realize you're supposed to like angle them, and I don't know anything. So I stopped while I was ahead because I'm like, okay, at least they're down here. They're not like that bad, but they looked terrifying. Like I had no layers to my hair. It was just hair down to here. and then bangs right
You
here.
kind of did yourself a service though, because like they're so.
Well, I called my friend Tiffany, who's my hairstylist,
I love
who
them.
I've gone to for a long time, and like she just is, since she's also a close friend, like knew what was going on and knew that I was like not
She
in the
was
best
like,
mental state.
"Oh."
And yeah, I text her, I was like, Tiffany, I'm so sorry. I committed a cardinal sin. I cut my own bangs. They're not horrible, but like I need your help. And she was like, can you come in today? Literally got me in that
Get out.
I could have texted her on Tuesday morning, and I got in that afternoon, and she trimmed them up and like added layers and everything. But the thing is, I don't know how to do them yet. Like I almost need like an instruction manual, because I'm like, do you straighten them or curl them or anything? And
Yeah.
so I'm figuring it out. But that's why I'm always like,
Fixing. I told Hannah, I was like, that was me with tattoos.
yeah, I get it.
I was like,
I don't get
let me
it.
just go
Actually,
get 3 tattoos. I said, that's what I did. I was like, it could be worse. Good thing I still like my tattoos.
yeah, yours are really cute.
I like started grieving and I was like, you know what? I need tattoos.
I did see a post that made me laugh, and it said something like, people say I'm going to regret these tattoos when I'm older, and that's bold of them to think that's going to be my biggest regret. And I was like, LOL.
Period.
Don't have any. Don't have any, but I relate. Okay, so any final notes before we get into our topic?
No.
Okay, so we thought we would talk about just holiday feelings, and we got a lot of thoughts on this. It's challenging. So let's kick off with, what if you just don't feel like the holiday season? Because I obviously am dealing with just a plethora of things.
Yeah.
And it kind of not derailed the holiday season, but Thanksgiving is like my favorite holiday. And this one was a little bit rougher. And then I just wasn't in the mood. Like I didn't Black Friday shop naturally. Like all these things that I usually do that kind of get me started weren't important to me this year. So then now I'm looking at the calendar, and as of today, there's only 13 days until Christmas. And I've been doing my best. Like I made Christmas cookies because in 2 different camps, like one trying to distract myself and bring joy to my life, but also just it's Christmas. I don't want to let it pass me by.
Yeah.
So I made like Christmas tree shaped sugar cookies. Like I've been doing all these little things, and I went to a Christmas market on Saturday and went to the workshop, which has like the
So
cutest
cute.
tree, all these things.
I know.
But it doesn't feel like Christmas, and I don't feel like listening to Christmas music because I am so entrenched in my emo playlists, and I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, should I just quit for 2 weeks?
No, I think that you're allowed to feel whatever you need to feel. And I think it's hard because it's the expectation. That's
Yes.
bottom line. And even like when I see stuff that's like, you know, thoughts for those who don't feel holly jolly.
Yes.
This holly jolly season.
Read that's in my notes. Oh my gosh.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like just whatever it is, because it's true. And sometimes people are going through things, and I know I've mentioned this, but like my dad is very ill. He's very ill. That's all I'm going to say with that. And it makes it hard. You don't feel the same way. It's like I'm supposed to be so happy, but like, what if this is my last one?
Yeah. And well, that's what I mean. It's so challenging because you want to see things for like the good and be like, okay, well, what if it is your last one? Then you should make it as beautiful and as meaningful as you can and enjoy it. But
Sometimes you just can't get there.
no, it's not that simple.
And I just stopped. I think we blame ourselves a lot because we see society making cookies and like doing all the things,
Yes.
or like, you know, in mom culture, we see people taking their kids to every single thing. And I'm like, well, I got to work. And then I have to like, you know, go out of town to work this weekend. And I feel like I'm like dropping the ball on my kids. And
Yeah.
I'm also just like
Yeah.
struggling because all I want to do is get on a plane and go visit my dad. And like, there's all these things. And I'm like, we've just got to stop like making ourselves feel.
It's just a constant battle of like, almost I want to make myself do it. Like I want to just be disciplined and be like,
Almost like will your way into
yes, like
holly
happiness,
jolly.
which I have been having some luck with, like not just with Christmas season, but like in throwing myself into other things that bring me joy. It has pulled me out of more of a dark place. So there is merit to that. But then I'm torn, like, okay, then do I just put the Christmas music on, do these activities, and then just like make myself feel jolly? Or then do I give myself grace and be like, okay, you're not feeling it this year. It's not that big of a deal. Like let yourself feel how you feel.
I wish I had an answer to that.
Yeah.
I think that because I do the same thing, and mine are like, it's like waves. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I'll have like Christmas. I'm really into jazz right now. When I'm home and doing things like working, I don't know why.
It's
So I'll
so
put on like
sophisticated.
Christmas jazz. My dad loved jazz, so I'm like
Yeah.
wondering if that's why too. But like now I'm like, oh, maybe I'm more like my dad than I thought,
Yeah,
because
I
I
love
love it
that.
too. It's very like calming. And then 2 seconds later, I'll like switch it and need like
Yeah.
I don't even know, like
I-
Zach Bryan, like total not Christmas.
I just have not been in that mood. I don't know. Like I usually
think
love Christmas music,
yeah.
and I'm definitely like a sucker for the holidays.
Same.
I'll make everything a big deal, and I'm enjoying it, but I just don't feel like it's Christmas.
Christmas time?
No, not at all.
Same way.
And then I also feel bad because I'm like, I anticipate this for at least half the year. Like I get so pumped for Christmas.
Well, normally,
So-
like even last year, I feel like I don't know, it just felt more Christmassy,
know,
and it
I
just
agree.
doesn't this year. And I've done more this year Christmas type stuff than I even did last year. But I feel like sometimes mentally you can't get there. And I think there's something to be said about faking it till you make it. Like even with grief, like just keep going because like time does heal. But sometimes just you can be going through the motions, but like mentally, it ain't it.
I hate to say the same thing every single time we have any topic, but it is balance. Like sometimes I do let myself just wallow and be like, you know what? I don't feel like making cookies. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like going to a thing. But sometimes I have to be like, I know I'll feel better if I do this. I know I'm going to have a good time. Like just go. And then once you do, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I did that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's my advice, I guess, but I'm not good at taking it.
I know. And with the balance, I feel like there's also something to be said about us over committing this time of year. Like I keep noticing, I'm like, yeah, that sounds fun. Okay. Yep. That sounds good. I'll do. And then I'm like,
yeah, that's hard.
Last minute being like, guys, I can't. Like I literally can't do it right now. And I wish I was better about like knowing myself in the future a little bit. Yeah. In the sense of like being like, Brie, there's no way you're going to be able to make that happen. Just tell them right now, like you can't. But I think a part of me wants to be like, yeah, I can make that Christmas dinner and we can do this too. And it'll be so fun. And this gift exchange. And then I'm like, I can't follow through.
Well, I think that if you have, just like we talked about at the very beginning, if the people in your life get it, then it's not that there's less pressure because you can be like, I'm just not feeling it this week. Like I need the time alone with my husband more than I need to be out right now. Yeah. And that is the biggest blessing. But if you don't have that, then maybe the people that are inviting you don't need to be the people that are inviting you. But I think you have to give yourself grace. And also, I have friends too that if I'm like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it, they'll be like, come on, like they'll give me more of a like push to do something. But it is really hard because I have, especially with my family and everything, like we all want to do things, but my mom went back to work this year. She retired, then she took a teaching job.
So wild.
So we just had this conversation about how she's like, okay, well, Evan, my brother is never home. Like we need to do more things as a family, but then it's also hard whenever she's exhausted from the week of being with kids that she doesn't want to, but then it's like, well, am I going to regret it? So
I know.
Maybe just do it every other. Like if you just need someone to tell you what to do, then say yes to every other thing and then do that. Yeah. And then just call it good.
Yeah. Basically, we don't have the right answer.
We have no answers. Yeah.
We're just winging it.
Even simple stuff, like just watch a Christmas episode of your favorite shows and like do that and make that your holiday thing. Like maybe you're not going to take your kids to the live drive-through nativity set and that's fine. But just, watch your favorite episodes on whatever show you're doing. And
have you seen The Holiday?
I love The Holiday.
Okay, so I watch that every year, and that is one thing, like...
It's a ritual, yeah.
Alex and I watched it. I love it. He's like, this is a long movie. I'm like, it is, but it has the best of the best in it. And, like, I watch it every year, so we made that, like, our little thing. I literally made us hot chocolate and piled it with marshmallows.
Have to.
Overfilled it, and it was so good. And
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
you know what? This is as, like, Christmassy as I can...
But we talked about this before whenever we were talking about not getting burnt out during the holidays. Whenever I look back on Christmas from last year, I can identify like 5 memories that were the core. So it's not like every single day has to be so packed. Like we don't live in a Hallmark movie. So it's not going to be, we're not baking cookies and, doing all these things 24/7. It's the few memories that you have the time to make that will cement like your view of this season. So even if you can just put those together, like that's a win in my book.
I think so too.
Good for us.
And I think we learn every year, right? Yeah. Like we do something and we're like, that really wasn't worth it. Like I can't do 5 girls gift exchange and dinners.
Oh yeah. That's been the best thing for us. Like
I know.
You have to, not that that's the hardest thing. Like even right now, I'm getting back off track again, but like I so badly want to give gifts back to everyone who brought me a care package, to everyone who did something for me. But I'm like, I cannot afford to do that. Like every single person that showed up for me or like did anything, I'm like, I would be broke. Especially, I just can't. Then I feel awful.
Hopefully the people that did that for you, at least I feel this way. I never would expect something.
I know, but I want, it just makes you feel so
I know.
happy. Like I want to give it back.
Show love back.
But. So I'm doing thank you notes, of course, which is like a given, but I just feel like it's not enough.
And I think that's even above and beyond. Oh, well, people do that for you because, they love you and they want to show up for you, not because it should be unreciprocation.
I think that no one expects it. Like I know that that's not why you brought the coffee and everything. It's just pure love and friendship. And I just wish that I could convey like how much it meant. And it's so hard to do without like $1 million because that's how much it means. Like I want to just shower people in love. And
I know
it's the same way around Christmas time. Like there's so many people that I want to give the world to. And I'm like, do I really just give them like a gift card?
I was just talking to a client about this. Is gifts your love language? I feel like we've talked about this, but I don't know.
I love to give gifts. I wouldn't say it's my main love language. Okay. But I love to give gifts to
So
people.
my other inconspicuous bestie.
Yes.
So funny. Everyone like knows who she is, but
Yeah.
doesn't.
We're protecting
she
her identity.
loves gifts, loves to give them. Like she's a gift girly. And guys, I'm like not, like I just don't.
Right.
Like people tease me because they'll be like, what do you want? And I'm like, nothing. I buy myself everything I want, which is a joke, but it's kind of true.
Kind of true. You're like, I know myself best. I give the best gifts.
Yes. And like, because I'm just not a gift person.
Yeah.
At all, like really at all. And so my birthday's a month before her. So she'll like, if she gets me something, then I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I get her something.
Yeah.
But I feel guilty because people will get me stuff and I'm like, that was so thoughtful, but it's the thought more than anything than even the gift. Like, I'm just
I
like,
agree.
I can't believe you thought of me.
Yes,
like,
to get me
so
something.
nice.
Well, I love to give gifts because I love to shop, and it's almost more fun to shop for other people because I know how much time I spend online, and I'm very proud of like how much I know about like where you can buy random things, like a Harvey Specter sweatshirt.
I was about to say, top notch.
I love to do it, and like honestly, this is like the most cliche thing, but I fully believe it. I love to give gifts. Like I don't care if I get nothing back. Like
Yeah.
you got me the sweetest gift, and I do have a bone to pick because the skincare is too good, and now I'm like, it's gonna be expensive. I'm gonna have to keep buying it. And
For you.
would you want to plug it real quick?
Were you? Yes. Okay. So
It's so good.
I was waiting for it to come in because I really was like, I feel like this is really good for Hannah's skin.
Amazing.
And then it got like a little back ordered, so I was stressed. So needless to say, Hannah's gift, I was like, you're just gonna have to accept this as like a month late.
That's fine.
Like
kept the party going.
Post birthday.
Honestly, I needed a gift then more.
I was like, so
It was a little pick me up.
yeah, so that was just like our little trial size of Epicutis.
It's so nice.
Which is a new brand we brought on. And I struggle because as a business owner, I don't want too many options because then it just looks like I'm pushing every single million skincare line. Like
I know you're
really
very meticulous about what you bring in.
the ones that we are like, this is amazing. We would actually recommend it.
And you use all of your own products. So you'll never catch Brie at a CVS, by the way. You're not going to catch her like buying a Neutrogena. She's like practicing what she preaches.
I really do.
So
I'm that extra. But skincare is everything to me, like truly. And so it's a new brand, and there's a lipid serum, which is just like the best
smells
every
like
day.
so earthy.
And like, can we talk about even their travel size? I'm so nervous I'm going to knock this over by getting excited about this. Is like luxury
Italian in you.
bottle. It's literally, I'm like, and like the little travel size of that thing, like
So cute.
I mean, the full size glass bottle.
Do you
oil
sell the
cleanser.
travel size kits?
No,
that would be a great Christmas gift.
So we got them as like a free gift with purchase. And it's happening right now, everyone, till the end of December. So if you spend $250 on skincare, you get what I gave you for free.
Okay.
So I'm like, y'all need to be like.
I'm not kidding. I've been using it for like a week now, and I mean the ring light isn't doing me any favors right now, but like it is so moisturizing for your
so
skin,
good.
and like it I don't know, I just feel glowy. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh,
in that oil cleanser that comes.
So nice.
So that is like the best first cleanse for your double cleanse because oil breaks down all your makeup.
oh, I have
And
never
it
felt so
feels
clean.
good because it doesn't feel heavy to me. Like even when I'm cleansing with it, it's very light, almost where I'm like, do I have enough to
I know.
there? Like,
well, I always feel I get like triggered by oil products because I am naturally oily, so I'm always
same.
like,
I get so stressed out.
Nope. But this one doesn't feel like it has residue on your skin.
Yes.
Like it's so nice.
and all their stuff. Last thing I'll say, and then I'll stop. But I just am
sorry.
really excited about it. The last thing I'll say is everything is very like simple ingredient based. So there's not like 80,000 million ingredients. The guy actually
Love
made
that.
it out of Japan. Like I've been reading about it, and I can stand behind it because I know sometimes people get scared away of medical grade because they're like,
Yeah.
there's way too many things in this.
Yeah.
And this is like very, like that
Very
lipid
gentle.
serum, only 8 ingredients. That's it.
Well, I have pretty sensitive skin, and I have not had any kind of adverse reaction
Yay.
to it. So it's been, but now I'm like, now I'm hooked.
I know, but I would get you anything you ever wanted.
Thanks, Brie. It's like
Your skin fairy.
it's on the house.
Really? Really?
That's us, yeah. Okay, so we have another note to talk about. I feel like I have the easy end of this because I don't have children, but I do still understand like the responsibility that falls on a wife and a mom at this time of year.
Yeah.
Girl, it's tough. So that's one of the reasons my husband and I have this like unspoken tradition now where we will go to the mall together one night in December, and we will spend like we'll go there at like 4:30. Like we'll get our stuff done early, spend the whole time until they close shopping for everyone on our list because it gets overwhelming to be the only person that's
Oh wait, so you're talking like you guys go together to Christmas shop?
Oh yeah. Well, last year was different because we were in Vegas the week before Christmas as like our like a couple trip for the two of us.
Yeah.
This year we took that one earlier, so last year we literally we checked a bag and there was like nothing in it basically because we intended to Christmas shop out in Vegas and we bought almost everything for our entire list there. Like we spent a 6-hour day, like just going through
That's
everything.
amazing.
It is very nice. And it's also good to put your heads together because even though we live together, it's always like your schedules don't mix. And I'm like, sit down, look at these gift ideas I have for your mom. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that in a second. I have to, it's just so hard. And then you don't make the time to do it. And I'm like, oh, it's so easy, but we don't. And we want everyone's gift to be good. But then I have more time at home than he does because I'm working from home.
Right.
He's not.
Like out in the,
So we have to find time to be together.
Yeah.
And we literally will carve out like a night just to go and do all of our shopping. And it's honestly fun because it's like that Christmas shopping montage. We'll go get ourselves like a little treat.
It's, I think that's a great idea. And I think that just doing it together makes it seem less of a burden. And I feel like women, I can't speak for all, but like I can specifically remember one Christmas, and I feel like Alex would be okay if I shared this. Like I'd had a baby. I shopped for literally every single person. Like I don't even think he knew what I got people.
Yeah, but he's seeing it for the first time.
I was pregnant with Kinson. So I was pregnant, had a baby, and shopped for everyone. And like, I am not a words of affirmation girly. Like
but you need someone to tell you like.
That was when everything flipped for me. Like I had done everything. Christmas was over. I got Alex, like we don't really do gifts because again, we're not really like gift people for each other. Like truly.
The gift is being able to buy what you want all year.
I'm like, I don't care. I love you so much. And I know that's different for other people. And I respect that. But like, we're not. But I decided to get him a little mug that was like a dad golf type mug.
Yeah.
And then like Christmas came and went. And I was like, I just did everything. Like he didn't even buy me a $4 mug. Like that matters. But it does. That's how much I was like.
You're drained. You're depleted.
Yes.
Like, we're not even going to bring the hormones into it because that's not fair.
But
that is a factor.
Yes. And then like you're out shopping, and I don't know about you, but like when I don't know what to get someone, I can't just browse the internet. Sometimes I need to go in person and be like, something's going to speak to me.
Yeah.
And it's so overstimulating this time of year.
Oh my gosh.
Because everyone comes to like, not that we're some big town, but
Springfield.
People in the smaller cities come here to shop.
It's very crowded and like the traffic is bad.
Yes. And I was very hormonal and anxious and like working, yada, 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 yada. Anyways, I remember looking at him and I like was crying and I was like, I need you to say thank you. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I can't believe I just did all of that. And I'm very like forward thinking where if something like really bothers me in my marriage, etc., like I'm going to address it right away. Right. And I was kind of like, I'm not a words of affirmation girl, but I really need you to say thank you for everything I just did for literally everyone.
It's huge. I've told Austin that so many times where I'm like, it's not that you didn't help me because I don't care if you helped me because I wanted to do it in the first place, but I want you to notice that I did it and then acknowledge that it was great that I did it.
Yes.
But you don't have to help at all. Like
that's the thing.
Cleaning,
you're like, I love
things like
shopping
that.
And
it's just like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's so hard to convey that. But I think, once you have a few open conversations, hopefully it improves. But that Austin loves getting gifts. And that's why he's different than I think some husbands, because he loves to do it, but he just waits until the last second. Like he will be out on Christmas Eve doing all his shopping. And then he comes home at 8 p.m. with all these gift bags. And I'm like, I can't wrap these all. Like then it makes another chore on me. And then I was like, well, then I feel bad because here he is being thoughtful and going to buy all these presents. And then I'm complaining because I have to wrap all of them. Like he's trying really hard to make it personal. So, but then I was like, if you could just do it a couple weeks earlier, like it would be so much easier.
I know.
So that's why we kind of compromised, and now we're doing the day together so that we can go out, pick things out. Because sometimes, like, he doesn't know what to get his mom because he's a dude, and I don't know what to get his dad because what do you get for your father-in-law?
Right.
So we just do all of it. We kind of make it into like a fun thing. We'll like play our little music and then reward ourselves with like late night sushi or something.
I love that.
We definitely don't do every single week. So it's fun.
I think all in all, it's learning. Men operate so different from us.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we literally have to come to terms with that and be at peace that like they're quite literally not going to think the same way
and
we
it's
do.
not malicious.
No.
Most of the time.
God bless.
Yeah. With ours, they're perfect angels and it's not malicious.
And they're like willing to help.
Yeah.
So I've just learned I literally just have to be like, hey, I need you to do this. Or like, because Alex wants to, and he'll like, let's make a list of like the things we find that we want for the kids.
But sometimes it's not the forethought, like to be like, hey, Brie, what do you need me to do for Christmas season? Right. It's not. It's just that they don't think to ask it because they assume that you'll tell them. And then with us, we're so like convoluted in our brains. We're like, I don't want to have to tell you or ask for help. I just want you to read my mind and know, which also isn't fair. But like, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's also just the expectation that like, we're going to keep track of all the holiday parties, all the invites.
Right.
we're going to RSVP to things.
Yeah.
We're going to decline things. We're going
Yeah.
to keep the calendar. We're going to make sure that okay, we're going to this Christmas party. We have to get the wine for this party.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all of these
Like, we're
different
supplying
things.
the appetizer for this. And, like, did you pick a
Yes.
recipe or yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then even with holiday things, like, I'm a little bit spoiled again because Austin does cook. But then if someone's like, oh, can you guys bring this to the party? Then I'm like, okay, well, I have to go get the ingredients for that. And then, like, we're responsible for this. And so there's just so much that goes onto your plate. And it's not that the action of it is so daunting or so challenging that I don't want to do it. It's more of like, okay, well, then now whenever I have a long day at work, I still have to think about this versus if Austin has a long day of work, he can just not think about what we're getting for his aunts and uncles for Christmas.
It's the mental load of being a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that. There's something we carry constantly.
Yeah.
The invisible checklist in our
Oh,
brains.
the invisible checklist.
And I like sometimes do wonder, like, I want to be a guy.
Yeah.
I just want to, like, go to work. And when I'm at work, I only think about work.
Yes.
And then I just like come home. And when I come home, I only think about, like, what's for dinner.
I want to experience whenever you say, what are you thinking about? And it's like nothing.
Yes.
If that's a drug, I want it.
If they're like, no, literally, what are you thinking about? And they're driving. They're like,
Nothing.
what do you mean? Nothing.
I'm like, what? So what is it playing in your brain? Is it white noise? Is it dead air? Is it a
Like,
song?
are you dreaming about, like, when you were a college athlete? Like, what's happening up there?
Because whenever I'm thinking about nothing, it's just like nothing significant, but I'm thinking about things. Like there's always a narrative of words happening. I don't know.
Anywho, but the more I talk to women about this and, like, you know, in the beginning, especially like beginning stages of marriage, etc., and you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I did this, and this, and they're like, oh, girl. And so it's learning the best way, like, you communicate with, like, your significant other, and just, I think, deciding how can I make this less stressful on me.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of had to shed some pride because the problem is I'd be like,
Because you want to be the perfect wife.
I did everything. But
Alex
then I'd
left with the finger. It's so nice.
But then I'd be, like, resentful towards him. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not
It's not
fair to
worth it.
him. That's not fair to me. Like, I'm just going to say, this is what we're doing. This is what I need you to do. Is that okay with you? Do you feel good about that?
Yes.
Ready, break.
Woo.
And go team.
Exactly. Well, that has to be, you know,
Yeah.
like it's not as simple as we would like it to be, I guess, but also it is very simple.
And sometimes just having, I read something that's like 5 minutes of uncomfortable is, like, worth more than.
Like when it comes to saying no and setting boundaries,
Yes.
1,000%.
And just, like, even with your husband, or, like, you don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to have to, like, maybe pick a fight, or just, but even just being like, hey, I need you to communicate this so that we can cross that bridge, or, like.
And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I don't want to have that conversation. And I'm like, Austin, could you please do this? And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why was I making that a big deal in
I
my head?
know.
Like, why am I acting like I'm going to ask him
Again,
to,
our
like,
scenarios that we.
yeah. We'll seek therapy again about that. So
But you know, I work with obviously 99.9% women. And, like, it's the same. I'm like, how are you? Like, how in holiday season's busy for me. It's busy for every single female. And they're like, God, I'm just, you know, trying to figure out what to get for my blank and I'm just like, we're all like this. So I think it's up to us to decide how we want to make this enjoyable, instead of every year, like,
being like,
glorifying that we're stressed out.
and busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to say I'm pretty blessed this time of year. Like I did take a break for myself, and, like, I'm working, but in a very manageable, sustained way. And it's definitely not how it has been in the past. So I don't want to say that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so strung out and, like, spread thin, because I'm not. I'm actually in a very good place. And honestly, I was talking to one of my friends, and, you know, she was like, I've been listening to the podcast and hearing you talk about how you took a step back. And, like, I honestly, as a third party, it sounds like maybe God had put that on your heart to, like, give you space or
Some
give
reprieve.
you, because I can't imagine if I had my workload from 3 months ago right now, it just would have been catastrophic.
Or you just keep going.
Yes.
And then you have to, delay
delay the catastrophe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would not have been able to take the time that I did. And, you know, I wouldn't have had the close relationship with my clients to clear out the week that I needed to take the time to, you know, basically just hunker down and be sad and everything. And it's just, even with this time of year, like, now I have the time to be with my mom and be with people that bring the most comfort and everything. And I don't want to discredit that by being like, oh my gosh, I'm in the worst place ever, because I'm not. And I acknowledge, like, how fortunate I am with all of that. So I do see you and everyone else that are in the trenches with all of the things. And, you know, if you need to go pick up something from a store, I could definitely do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you would.
I don't think there's anything else that I had for this one. I have things to say, but, like, our next episode is also about Christmas.
Yeah.
So next week will be about gift ideas. And we did ask the audience and listeners
love
for all
that.
of
I'm
these.
so excited.
I got some ideas from this one. So next one's going to be a good one. Get your notepad out for whenever you hear it. 1 week from when you listen, but also like 10 minutes from right now that we're going to record about it. So,
well, thanks for hanging with us. I feel like it was kind of like hodgepodge because it's been a minute.
It's been a while. It's been a big brain dump catch up, but you guys are our girls. So that's just how it is. So thanks for listening.
Bye,
We
guys.
love you. Bye.